Welcome back to Our Life Simplified. Thank you for joining. Today we're going to be talking about incubating eggs. For my birthday this year, my husband gave me a gift of egg incubator. So I've done some research even before now. I've been doing research, YouTubing things, reading things, and the only way to truly learn and know how to do anything is to just jump in and do it. So that's what we're going to do today. Okay, so this is the incubator that was purchased for me from my husband for my birthday recently. This is my first time incubating eggs. This one happens to have an automatic egg turner because it is very important to turn your eggs based on everything I read in nature. That's what the hen will do as well. It's to prevent the chicks from sticking to the sides of the egg as they're incubating. This is a 12 egg capacity. There's several steps that you need to do in terms of getting the system all set up. So between the instruction manual and things I've read online, I think I'm ready to go in terms of trying my hand at incubating eggs. Went ahead and I put together the unit. So a little backstory. This is my first time incubating eggs. However, this is will be my third time brooding chicks up. Several years ago, back in 2018, when I was interested in raising chickens and having a chicken coop and farm fresh eggs, I wanted to see if I could even brood up the chicks and see if I could even get that far, let alone taking care of adult chickens. So I had a coworker who had chickens, and she agreed that if I brood up the chicks, she would take the chickens, because we weren't ready at that time. We didn't have a coop or plans to have any chickens at that time or anything. So then 2021 is when I finally decided to go ahead and buy chicks for my own. And I ordered 15 chicks. Unfortunately, 3 did not make it in that first year. I ordered them through Meyer Hatchery. They were very helpful in information and communication with me during that first week. It was a little traumatic for me because I had lives in my hand, and I know they're just baby chicks, but it was a big deal to me that I lost them. So that was a learning process for me. Sometimes it's just traumatic for them in the very beginning of their life, especially when they're being shipped via mail and getting all situated in a new place. So I think that's probably what happened. I don't think that they were sick chicks. It was just too much on their system. Unfortunately, I just lost one. I believe she was egg bound, but I didn't even notice. She acted fine, looked fine. Didn't see anything wrong with her. Now, she was not producing eggs. I did know that. She's the only one that laid green eggs, so that's why I knew that she wasn't laying any eggs. And went out the next day to take care of the chickens, and she was found at that time. Anyways, so I do have experience with brooding chicks up, so I can show you how I do my setup when they first initially are hatched. When I ordered them online, they ship, I believe it's within 24 hours, so you're getting like newly baby chicks. And so I have one set up for when they're babies that I have easier access to. I actually put a tote in my tub, and that way I can check on them every day and several times a day. And then when they get a little bit older and too big for that tote, then I do move them out to a bigger brooder box, and I can show you all that in future videos. So anyways, moving forward with today's video, I am going to show you everything that I have, everything I read about. I'm going to go ahead and set up this incubator. Incubator comes with instructions. Be sure to read all the instructions. I'm not going to go into all the details with this. It does explain that they calibrated the thermometer that comes with the system. It's a built-in thermometer and hygrometer, which measures the humidity. So it describes that since it is a 21-day hatch time for the most part with all chicken eggs, there is a countdown whenever you start it. The last 3 days, it will not turn the eggs. They're talking about the temperature. Like I said, they describe that even if you have your own temperature thermometers and hygrometers, that they probably won't be as accurate as what's in the system. They did say that they calibrated it prior to sending it. So this just kind of goes through and describes all the various functions. And the nice thing is on the top of this also has it written right on top of here. So that's a nice feature. So then it goes through and it describes how to piece it together, which I will do here in a moment. Okay, so I will remove the lid. You are to install, this is part of the egg turner, this yellow piece, and then they have this piece that, if you notice, it's got like a little D shape center piece here, and it will fit perfectly on that shaft. You just have to rotate it correctly. And then you also have to make sure you rotate it. Okay. Yes. So that looks like that's on. Oh, I have it upside down. Okay. So it's got to be turned like this. Do you see the cut ends here? Okay. So when you place this on here, you've got to rotate it so this fits in the cutouts. Okay. And whenever you place the lid back on, be very careful with it. This is the component that has all the computer, the digital and electronic information up at the top here. So when you place it back on, there's a little notch right there. I don't know if you can see it. That is not on correctly. Slightly shift it, and now it is in the notch. So that's how you know you have it on correctly. And step number 2, it talks about choosing the right location for your incubator. Advise you to place it into a room that has a stable temperature between 74 and 80 degrees. I'm going to go ahead and just place it on my counter right here so we can see it every day, multiple times a day, so we can check the progress. It's probably around 72 in the house. I'm hoping that that's not going to make a huge difference, but we'll see. It says pay attention to the room temperature to ensure it does not drop below 72 degrees, particularly at night. So you are going to plug in, there is a unit that is connected to the back of this device, and it will be plugged right into the back of this unit. And as you notice, there is another plug-in right here, and that is for the electrical cord, and I am going to plug it in right through here. This is now on. They recommend that you start this several hours prior to placing your eggs. This has to get to a 99.5 degree temperature and around 50% humidity. So this incubator has a factory preset to 99.5 degrees Fahrenheit and hatch days to 21 days for the chicken eggs. So as you plug it in, the incubator into the power, the timer will begin to count down from 21 days and the temperature will gradually heat to 99.5 degrees Fahrenheit. You will see the heater indicator light keep blinking, and this is normal, although it doesn't appear to be blinking. So I'm not sure if I'm doing this right or if this is a defect. I'm guessing they're referring to this heating indicator light, but it's not blinking. So Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and fill the water in this reservoir, and it states do not fill it more than or above the depth marker in this unit right here. So as I'm pouring this in here, it's moving into this reservoir right here. So I'm going to keep filling it. And they said do not fill it any higher than the depth marker. So as this raises, this will be at the same level. And you have to use distilled water. Make sure it's distilled water. So as they explain, if you fill it above that marker, that depth marker, it will then carry over and fill into the second reservoir, which is right here. We want to only keep it in this reservoir. Okay, so I guess the reason why the temperature wasn't flashing is because I had this unit flat on this surface, so there was nowhere for the air to go, but now it's working. So as it's heating up to 99.5 degrees Fahrenheit, the heat indicator is flashing. So this is working. The humidity is showing 36%. We are going to, there is a vent right here, and you want it halfway. So this is completely closed. That's about the halfway mark. Now, it does indicate that we need to wait for about 2 or 3 hours until the humidity is fully stabilized. And the humidity level needs to be around 50%. It does give a range of 45 to 55% being acceptable, which is suitable for poultry. So as this gets to temperature to 99.5 and 50%, which looks like it's moving quite quickly, I will get my eggs ready. The eggs that you select, they need to be clean and they need to be a certain size. I don't know if it's absolutely necessary for it to be a specific size, but from what I researched, it says around 53 grams to 63 grams. I have my kitchen scale right here, and I will go ahead and turn it on. I already have it set to G for grams. I have a little plate on there. It's already zeroed out. As I was collecting eggs and they looked like they were good eggs, I wanted to go ahead and hatch them. I understand that you can hatch eggs that are maybe a few days old. So I have some from April 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th. They need to be a good shape. And I am just going to take one at a time. Okay, so that says 52 grams. I'm going to kind of put that aside. This one's 62, so that's in a good range. That one's 61 in a good range. And I'm just going to continue doing this with all my eggs. Okay, and as I continue doing that with all the rest of my eggs, something else that I saw, and I don't know if it's just an old wives' tale, but they said the rounder the egg, like this one's pretty round, that it's a hen, but we'll see. And then they say the pointier the egg, which I don't know, to me, this one might be a little bit pointier, might be a rooster. So we'll just experiment and we'll see if that truly works or not. I feel like I selected most of my eggs here that are pretty rounded, but I see maybe 1 or 2 that are a little pointier at the tip. And they do suggest put an X on the egg, like that's showing top up. I went ahead and put the date, so that's going to be my indicator. I'm guessing they want you to do that so you can see if it's definitively rotating the eggs like it should be. And I just used a pencil to write the dates on there. I went ahead and wrote how many grams it was. Like this one's 68 grams. And since this is an experiment for me, I'm just curious to see how all this turns out. Okay, as I mentioned, make sure your eggs are clean. When I say clean, I don't mean wash them. Do not wash them. Keep the bloom intact. That way no bacteria can get inside the chick and end up ultimately killing it. So unwashed eggs that are clean. Okay, so the temperature is now 99.5 and 50% humidity. I am going to go ahead and place the eggs in the incubator. Okay, so I placed the eggs in the unit. I know some of the eggs were more rounded than others, so I just looked at the eggs and what I felt like was the pointy side. The pointy side points inwards. So the directions say eggs need to be set lying flat with pointed ends facing inwards towards the center of the incubator. Note, ensure there is a gap on the side of each egg. This will allow for smooth rolling. So I'm looking at some of these, and some of these eggs are so big. I don't know if you can see that. We're going to go ahead and put it to a test to see if the eggs will roll properly. Okay, so it recommends before putting the top cover on to conduct a turning test 3 to 5 times and conduct a test by pressing the plus button. So it'll beep once. And I actually already did the test. All the numbers that I had written on the eggs were on top, and now they're not. So I'm going to press the button again for a test, an egg turning test. I'm going to try it again. And there are the numbers again. The dates. So it looks like it's working well. The egg turner, that's perfect. Okay, so the unit is set up that the egg turner will rotate 5 seconds every 60 minutes. Okay, so now the temperature is raising back up. Same with the humidity, since that cover was off for a while. It said if you press the menu OK button, it will say that's the days till hatch. So D21 means 21 days until hatch time. So as a recap, this is my first time incubating chicken eggs with the unit that I have. So far, everything that I've read in the instruction manual, even though there were some misspellings, seems to be pretty straightforward and user-friendly. So far I do like the unit. I'll continue to document the progress of this incubation of chicken eggs. If you have any questions about what I did today, there might be things I forgot to mention, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. Or if you would like any further explanation on anything that I did. And if you like what you saw in this video and would like to continue to follow the progress of this incubation experimental project for me, please consider subscribing to the channel. And until next time, thank you for watching.